I was fine before the spill, and like after the spill, I started having headaches, migraine headaches, nausea, vomiting, sometimes diarrhea. You know, it was just everything while I was at work. This is going on, and then I would notice after I'd go home, there was times where I was falling down and hurting myself, just out of the blue, and breathing problems. I had a couple episodes where I couldn't breathe at all, and after all these things going on and going to the doctors, I have a tumor in my spine, and they found multiple cysts in both of my lungs. And
they weren't there before the spill?
No.
You were fine right before the spill, and you actually have documented tests, and then right after the spill you have all these issues and you have tumors in your lungs?
And yes, and on my spine. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, and there's nothing else that could have caused it. I'm typically a healthy person. I take vitamins. I do, eat right. I won't say I eat 100% right, but nothing that would cause this. My doctors are even, in the process of trying to figure out everything for me so that we can move on to treatment.
So what's your feeling about what the oil companies have done in our community?
I think that it's ridiculous that they try to act like nothing's going on with people's health. The community, everybody around is breathing like it's normal. It's sad that because they have money, they can do this to people. I believe that too. It's crazy because a lot of people that you talk to have no idea that this is even taking place. Like the doctors and things that I've been talking to weren't even aware that there was a spill anywhere here in Michigan, and that it was inland. It wasn't even like the ocean where there's gallons and gallons of water. It's a little river,
right,
that we used to play in when we were kids, that I wouldn't let my kids go in now. There's no way. Well, not even in a canoe, you know what I mean? It's
still full of oil. The whole bottom of the river is still full of oil. And I've taken reporters out there in the last 2 weeks and showed them oil that's at the bottom of the river. And I can still fill my gloves up with oil. So I don't understand how they can have kids in there swimming. What happens here can affect generations to come, because there's a lot of pipelines that are going to be put through Canada, which is the Northern Gateway Pipeline, and down to Texas, which is the XL pipeline. And this tar sand oil is very toxic, and it could possibly get into some very large water systems that could take 30–40% of our water from the United States. And I just can't imagine this actually being allowed to happen, and to run these pipes and this tar sand oil through these lakes and rivers and aquifers. Now, what is your opinion about these pipelines now that you are a victim of a tar sand spill?
I wouldn't ever agree to it. I didn't even know, before, and I wouldn't think that anybody would want to have to go through this. For one thing, they were warned and warned and warned. And now they just get a slap on the wrist, like, we told you, and it's unsafe for people. I think that you should be aware of what's going on, and at least they're letting the people decide, or hopefully are letting the people decide what they want, because they're, like you said, generations down the road. The same thing could happen. It's upsetting. I have kids, and I'm not healthy because of this. And it's taken from them. I keep getting upset, but it's,
People need to see what you're going through. The only way we're going to get people to understand how bad this is to see those tears. And that's the truth. And it is very, very hard. It's hard for me to do this. It's hard for me to go and meet all these people that are sad and sick and in pain, and all I can do is make a video and just tell people that they're sick. That's all I can do.
Right.
I don't know what else to do. And I'm trying. I pray to God a lot, and I try to figure out new ways to find new documents or find new evidence of what these companies are doing, and it's very stressful. And it has to be stressful for you, because what if Enbridge took, you know, what if, and it's sad to say, and what if you die 10 years from now and you don't get to see your grandkids grow up?
That's stuff I think about. I mean, anything dealing with your spine can be fatal. I mean, you know, and your lungs. And I'm like, got a double whammy, you know.
Oh, you're one of many. There are so many people. I don't even know 10% of the sick people. What happened is Enbridge paid a lot of the real sick people off that had medical proof that they were sick from the oil spill. And they made them sign confidentiality agreements that they couldn't talk. So it's really important for me to try to get videos with people like you before you settle with Enbridge, because then Enbridge will sue you if you tell anybody what really is happening. Mm-hmm. Because you've signed a document saying that you agree that the money they gave you is sufficient and you'll never tell nobody about it. And I think that is wrong. And this is really, honestly, isn't about money, and I know that you've already told me it's not about money.
It's not, but it's just they need to, I mean, you can't replace somebody's life. I mean, no amount of money can be put on somebody's life. I don't care. Or the value of life. I mean, it's not even if it don't kill you. I mean, what you're taking your value, I guess that's how you call it, your value of life away from you. I mean, you can't do things. You're sick all the time. How are you supposed to function normally with 2 young children, or even, you know, working or breathing? I mean, you can't get exerted because your lungs are all messed up. I mean, I used to work out and crap. I can't do any of that, you know, because I'm not allowed, and plus I can't get exerted. So, you know, like I don't. It's not about money. It's just about the fact that they've done this and they're refusing to take responsibility. And to me, they can't give any of this back to me. Any of the time they're taking out of my kid's life with me, you know, not being able to get out of bed, or just being sick, and them watching me be sick, you know, that's terrible for them. I don't know, it's just ridiculous, because to them it is about the money. That's all it's about. That's, you know, why are we paying $4.09 a gallon right now?
Right. Honestly, we could be paying $1.50 a gallon, and they would still make a profit. Mm-hmm. But they choose to make such a large amount of money that it's crippling our economy, to be honest. There's no reason why they should be making billions and billions of dollars every quarter. Why don't they just give it back to the American people in discounts, where we're only paying $1.50 for gas instead of $4 for gas?
I mean, you're lucky to make minimum wage, and you got to pay more than half of your minimum wage to a gallon of gas.
Yep. No, exactly. And so the oil companies really are crumbling the economy in the United States. We think that they're helping us. They're actually crippling us.
Yes, I agree.
And if we all could get back, you know, 20% of our paycheck, 30% of our paycheck that we spend every week in gas, if we could get that back, I mean, imagine. Plus, you can travel more to spend more time with different family members. There's so much you can do.
Oh, yeah. You can't even take a vacation now because you can't afford to get there and expense, you know.
Well, Erica, I'm going to try to do the best I can to get the word out. Just gave you some t-shirts to you and your family. I just wanted to ask you, because you were just mentioning, what do you feel about what I'm doing?
I feel that it's great, and I appreciate everything that you're doing. I believe that it's the right step to get the word out there and get people heard, at least, if nothing comes of it. You're doing a great job, and you're traveling everywhere, and you've been in great contact with me and making sure that I'm all right, and I appreciate it. I think you're out of your heart, you know. You're missing out on your time to help everybody else, and I think that's wonderful.
Well, thank you.
Enbridge Lies, John saves lives. 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 Enbridge Lies.